Okay, welcome everybody to today's live class. I hope you're okay wherever you are in the world. My name is Leighanne. I am a voiceover and speaking coach, and I'm really looking forward to just speaking to you live today, just for a quick bit. Um, and before I even start, remember there's a free template that goes along with the live classes that I do, and you can get those. Go on to www.leannesvoice.com, click on the speaking tip shop, and you will see the free template which goes with all of my different classes. Okay, so today's topic I'm going to talk about is sounding confident when you speak. I know it's easier said than done, and you're like, oh, Leighanne, like you always sound smooth, blah, 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 blah. It takes time, it takes training, and lots of practice. Like I'm saying, daily practice, that's the way how you improve. Yeah. So to sound confident when you speak, it doesn't first start off when you start talking. That's probably like the second or third stage. To sound confident, you need to actually tell your own mind that you're confident. You need to tell your own mind that I am a great speaker. People do want to hear what I'm saying. I am engaging. I am interesting when I talk. So you've got to really train your mind to know, trust, and believe that whether you're talking about the new lipstick range that's coming out in your business, or if you're making handmade soap, or if you are a cupcake designer, etc., you need to know that, okay, if I'm going on this live, like for me, I'll give my own example. If I'm going on this live, I need to make sure I've told myself that I've got some value to share. There are people out there who want to know how to speak more confidently in their business, whether it's on a Facebook Live or a Instagram Live, when they're doing a training or a coaching session with their clients, or they're doing a Zoom call or making a phone call to try and get new business and stuff. They want to sound more confident. Okay. So I always train myself that, I don't know, I kind of explain it as like I have the solution for someone's pain or their problem, etc. Almost as if it's like medicine. That's what I will see, like my courses, my audiobooks, my group coaching sessions. I all see it as that. Okay. Right. So first thing that you have to do is really have the mindset that you have something great to share and you do sound engaging when you talk. Okay. That's the first thing that I'd say. The second thing to sound confident, so a lot of this stuff happens even before you've opened your mouth, yeah? So first of all, work on mindset, and you'll see a lot of stuff that I do in some of my previous videos on my YouTube channel or on the IGTV about imposter syndrome. That's where a lot of work happens, because a lot of people think like, oh, I'm not that great a speaker. So to be a great speaker, it starts off in your mind. So work on your mindset. Two is about practice, and that's like, it could be short things that you do daily, like as if, like, I don't know, when you first start to ride a bike. I'm not that great of a bike ride. I don't know why I picked that example. Anyway, as if when you first start to ride a bike, you're a bit wobbly, a bit shaky, but after you keep practicing, you actually got better at it. It's the same to make sure that you sound confident when you speak, to sound engaging and interesting when you speak about your business, whether you're on a podcast or doing a Facebook Live, or if you're making that phone call, etc., or you're doing a training session. Okay, it takes practice. Now, I do a lot of different styles of practice because of the work that I do. Now, for like my main voiceover work, I'll do things like drills, like la 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 la. But these are things that you can even do even if you're not a voiceover, because everybody uses their voice in some form or fashion. So doing scales like la 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 to warm up your voice before you have to jump on that phone call with someone you're trying to negotiate a new deal with, or do that podcast interview. So warm up your voice beforehand. Secondly, as well, I'd say do short tasks like tongue twisters, so you can really practice in articulating your mouth correctly. Because some people, they say, oh, I'm not really that great a speaker, because you're not actually using your mouth and tongue in the best way possible. That's why you don't sound that great. Okay, you might have a, like, I don't know, almost as if like a lazy articulation. So practice daily, do the scales, warm up your voice, do tongue twisters, read like texts out loud and stuff, practice your speed. I've done this before in other videos, so you can work out if you speak very slow or if you speak very fast. You should be going in between sort of 120, 155-ish words per minute. And I've shown you how to do that. If you weren't on that class, go back into the videos so you can watch it, okay? And as well, another way how you can gain confidence to improve the way you speak is, I know people don't really like it, yeah, but get feedback. Yeah, let people tell you how good or how rubbish you are. It really helps, okay? Now, those who say that you're good, that's great, but I really more so like those who tell you, okay, I think you could improve in this area, or can you go a little bit slower, etc., you know? So always get feedback, whether you've done a phone call or you've done a Facebook Live selling your product, or you've done a coaching session training people like myself, training people how to speak with more confidence, or you know, you're on a podcast interview. Always get feedback on, how did I sound? Did I sound engaging? Could you hear me correctly? Was it enjoyable? You know, all of the things that you may kind of take for granted, that you think, oh, I got a nice voice, I don't have to worry. You don't know how your voice delivers to other people in certain environments. Okay, so that's why I always say, get feedback, okay, on how you speak about your business, how you deliver in a training course, how you interview. Do you interview well? Because some people are not that great at having question and answer session, that kind of feedback one-to-one. So always get feedback, okay? So that will give you confidence, so you know little bits of areas that you need to work on, okay? If anyone's got any questions, I am going to do them at the end. So I have some already from the Facebook group, but I will go through some questions. And if you've got any questions about, you know, improving your speaking, I am here to help you. Okay. So as well, what is going to make you feel more confident and sound more confident when you actually speak, right, is, you know, when you talk, right, I'm going to give you the example, like ending your sentence on a down sound rather than sound like a question, that will sound more convincing. Let me give you the example. So every day I practice my speaking skills. Okay, that was ending it on a down sound. So if I do it the other way, ending on an up, every day I practice my speaking skills. Like, it sounds like, are you sure? Do you do it? Is it a question? You're asking me the question. It doesn't sound confident or trustworthy, or like you know what you're talking about. Okay, so even just playing about the tones and the rhythm and the sound that you use can make you sound more or less confident. Okay. Um, and this might sound so simple and think, but talk about what you know, trust and believe in, because everyone can hear a fraud. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you're there to people please or whatever. I know, and I know sometimes some of you might be in a business where you're selling a product, you're not quite behind the product, but you're behind the whole kind of brand of it. But it's really obvious when someone's a fake, and that comes out in what you're saying and how you say stuff, because there ain't no passion or oomph behind it. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Um, So, and as well, this will actually help you have more confidence when you're speaking. Now, I know that many people use their voice in different ways, do a lot of kind of activities when they're speaking. So they may, I remember hearing that Beyonce, right? She jogs on the spot when she was singing so she can have endurance and stamina. So if you're doing, like, imagine you go for your daily walk. I hope you're going for your daily walk. If you're going for a daily walk, or you are going for your run, etc., it's good if you try to speak out loud or pray out loud, whatever it is you do, so you can actually train your lungs and your diaphragm to speak well under a bit of pressure. So you go for a walk and just say some stuff out loud and stuff. Start very low, you know, just like, okay, like, so going up the stairs and down the stairs, you know, really play about with your voice and stuff. And this is very good for people who talk a bit monotone, because some of you have great stuff to say, but it's just the way you say is a bit do you know what I'm saying? So whenever you're thinking like, what am I going to say, think of it like as if it's almost like a dance, or it's a musical piece, or a lot of color or stuff, so that you can kind of play about with your sound, and also play about with the speed when you deliver your talks as well. So some parts you may need to go really fast, or some parts you may need to slow it really down, and then even add that dramatic pause, you know, to say like, this point is really important. Okay, so that really helps to kind of give you confidence, so that you sound great, you sound confident, and it should give you confidence when you talk, whether you're doing a contract negotiation on the phone with a client, you're doing a podcast interview about your business, or you're being interviewed in your corporate job, whatever it is, that should help you. And as well, this is, for me it's natural, but others it's not. Use your hands when you're talking. I'm not saying like do a full-on like Vogue session and stuff, that's not what I'm saying, but make sure that your words support what it is that you're saying. So If you're talking about moving borders, do things like that with your hands, because it really helps, particularly as a lot of work is being done now on video calls and Zoom calls and stuff. So we only see like a short percentage of you. So it really cuts down a lot of the conversation. So try as much as you can to engage with your hands, as long as you can kind of get yourself on the camera. Yeah. Okay. I had a few more points, but this one goes back to mindset, right? Remember I said at the top, mindset, okay? And if you didn't, and there's actually another podcast that I did, I think it's number 195 with Marissa Bailey Clements, when I talk about imposter syndrome and mindset and stuff. That is probably one that you need to listen to if you struggle and think, oh, no one wants to hear me, I don't have nothing to say. That's one you probably need to work on before you even start speaking, because your mindset is key to everything. So believe that your voice is your perfect chosen voice. Believe that your voice deserves to be heard, and what you're saying needs to be heard, and it's important. So if you want to build your self-confidence, I just say each day, just speak out loud, speak about the topics that you like. Try and get yourself in as much situations when you can speak, but even more so than that, get feedback. So I'm not talking about like, yeah, you want to be a public speaker. I'm just saying like women just generally who want to just sound great on the phone call, sound great when they're doing the training or the meeting sessions, etc., or want to do a podcast interview, just sounding great in your normal, walks and days of work. Okay. All right, let's get into the questions. Okay. So I've got some questions here from the Facebook group. Okay. So Stephanie has asks, is interaction necessary? So now a lot of business is even more so now being conducted online, on videos, on live calls and stuff. There's less, well, where I am, there's less opportunity for, kind of like face-to-face contact. Depends on where you are in the world, because I see some people be getting down, yeah. So when I did do a video about this, so I get an interaction when you're on a video call, okay? I think it helps your listeners to stay involved, because you want to feel like it's a team, not just like you're the boss and talking to listen for everyone, all the little minions to listen. You want to feel like, okay, I say something, I may ask a question, someone else may answer. So it's a bit of a team where you deliver the information, but you gauge whether the information is going by asking questions, asking for reactions, different kind of things like that, and ask people to hit the like button, the heart button, asking questions in the comments and stuff, because that shows if your information is being delivered and understood in the way it's supposed to. So I think interaction, like you said, Stephanie, I hope I've answered your question right. It's almost as if like it's instant feedback. So like, okay, you may need to slow it down or give more examples, etc., or speed up. Okay. This question, Caroline. Okay, Caroline asks this question: how many questions are too much and no one really talks? Oh, Caroline says, how many questions are too much and no one really talks back? Okay, it depends on how well you know your audience, right? Because sometimes if it's people who don't know you, they may not know that when you're asking a question, is it a question to be answered now, or is it one to just think about, like a rhetorical question? So be very clear when you're doing training sessions or meetings or lives, whether you want people to listen. You got to think of like your listeners almost as if like sheep who need a shepherd. Shepherds are always clear. The sheep hear their voice. They're very clear about what's going on. Okay, so the sheep can follow them. Okay, so what I would say is, if you want to ask questions when you're doing a training session about your product, I don't know what your business is, Carolyn, what you have to speak about each week, but I would say if you ask a thought-provoking question, say, right, okay, think of this, or answer me this. Ask people for the answer, or you ask people to comment in the box, or you say you want an answer and people to email you back. Ask what you need people to do when you throw out questions. So always be prepared that some people are not going to answer, and then that might be a gauge that your question's not that clear. Okay, I hope that one's answered it. Okay, so I have checked all of the questions. Okay, and that is the summary of what I wanted to share. That is a summary of what I wanted to share about, to speak confidently. It starts off first in your mindset. It doesn't really happen first of all in your mouth. So work on your mindset. Okay. That's what's key. What I share today. Go work on your mindset, practice every day. It can be just even for like 3 minutes or something every single day. Yeah. Get feedback on how you sound, how you deliver and stuff. Okay. And then also, ending your sentence on a down tone will sound more confident than if you're like always asking a question all the time. Like that's like what are you doing? And to build up like the strength and endurance when you need to talk, whether it's on a phone call or you need to do training sessions or in a meeting or an interview, I think you should either run up and down the stairs reading a book out loud, or when you go for your walk, talk out loud. Just put your headphones on, talk out loud, okay? And that would help you build endurance so you can speak for a longer time, build up stamina if you don't like the word endurance, okay? Use your hands, as I've said. Obviously, you're not doing Vogue or you're not signaling the plane. Um, that helps to support what you're saying. And just going back again, just believe that what you say is important. It needs to be heard. Okay. So I hope that has all helped. And now, hope that has helped you all. So I'm always banging on about, improve the way you speak with more confidence in your business. Okay, great. So, for those of you who haven't met me before, you haven't been on my website, www.leighannesvoice.com, please feel free to go ahead and go onto my website and the course. There's two courses up that I really want you to go and have a look at. How to use storytelling to be a better speaker, and also how to develop a strong speaking voice. Okay, because some of the questions you guys have said, you can get the answers at a more in-depth level in those two courses. Okay, so go onto the website, you can see the free sample and you can see how I teach, what I do, all of that stuff. Then you can click on to the paid course, which is on the same page. And at the moment that course is out, it's a squeeze. The value that I give is a squeeze, a great gem, and your investment in it is going to be 200 British pounds. You know what I mean? Like, who would think that you can just help solve all of your problems? And I go through a whole load more of different stuff on that course. Let me just give you a little snippet, right? On what I talk about on the storytellers course, because the best speakers, in my thoughts and feelings and opinion, are storytellers. Okay, so you can ask any one of my students what they think of the course, and they'll tell you they've had bars and gems from it. Okay, so on the course, you'll learn with me how to use your time effectively when you need to speak, whether it's on a phone call, training session. You're going to learn about able to be able to gauge and read your audience and respond to your audience's needs with how you deliver the information, questions you ask, and feedback. Then as well, learning how to use a good hook to hook in your listeners at the very beginning. So if you're on a podcast interview or you're doing a training session, you're doing a weekly team meetings, I'll show you techniques of how to grab a good hook. Then as well, I teach you as well how to keep it short. Even though you've been told you've got 30 minutes on an interview, etc., you don't have to talk for 30 minutes. You talk for like 20, 25 minutes. You leave the or 20 minutes, leave for the rest of the 10 minutes to ask questions. You can find out if your listeners are really on par with you and what do you need to further clarify. Okay. And I talk about the art of chill. No one really chills, or people find it hard to chill. Put my hand up in that box too. Um, if you're relaxed, you'll hear it in your voice. You'll hear it in your shoulders and stuff. Someone who's tense and like that, it kind of changes the sound and tone of the voice. So I talk about the art and the benefit of relaxing when you talk. Yeah. And as well, just have fun. I know, like when you're hashtag adulting, yeah, you have like planned sessions with fun and stuff. Remember when you was a kid, you could just run out into the fields and stuff like that. So I talk about bringing in the element, depend on the topic you're talking about, okay, having fun in what it is that you do, in what it is that you're saying, whether it's on a podcast, interviewing about your business, or if you're, I don't know, talking on a phone call, trying to negotiate a new contract or stuff. Learn how to bring the element of fun into what it is that you say. Some of you are just too serious. That's why you don't sound good when you speak. So when you tell me, Leighanne, I don't have confidence when I speak, it's not actually that you don't know how to have fun when you speak. There's a difference. So I go through that as well. And I go through about variety. Variety is obviously the spice of life, but in particular when you talk. Nobody wants to hear a monotone, monotone, monotone. No way. We like variation, colors and stuff like that. So when you talk, like me, you always hear me, I'm always going up and down, slow, fast, asking questions, speeding up, giving the dramatic pauses and stuff. So I kind of play about with stuff. I teach you those techniques on the course. And then I talk about now, this is key to be a better speaker when you use storytelling techniques to be a better speaker, right? Is I ask my listeners to imagine, so that is a powerful tool because many powerful speakers, they speak words and they help their listeners to create the image into their mind. If you can do that, poof, you're going to be doing some great things when you speak. Okay, so I talk about those things and a couple of little bonuses here. You can find the course, have a look at the samples, see what I'm about, check me out, check me out, check me out, check me out. Go onto my website, www.leighannesvoice.com, check out the speaking tips shop, and then you'll see the free sample for the how to use storytelling to be a better speaker, and the full paid course, which is out now at And I cannot wait to see you join on the call. So many people have gone onto it. You're going to see on my page and stuff all the different reviews I've been able to start pulling out and getting up for you guys so you can see how others are getting on. And I really look forward to seeing you on it. So thank you everyone who came in on the Instagram. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so glad that you made it today. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Thanks everyone on Instagram. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And thank you everybody who came in on the Facebook group. See you later for now. Bye bye.